Good morning. Welcome to Christchurch Airport in the South Island of New Zealand. Today we'll be flying up to Auckland, the largest city in the country. Not the capital, as people do think. It's just the largest city in the country. We're going to be doing this in the 787-10, the currently fictional 787-10. And I think I might have called this the All Blacks livery. It's not, it's the I did correct it later, it's the All Black livery. So there is a 777-300ER which wears an All Blacks livery, and it has the All Blacks silver fern running over the end of the fuselage here, including, this is the New Zealand Tourism silver fern, or sorry, just the New Zealand Tourism fern. And so that's the difference. This one is just part of a series of an All Black livery that Air New Zealand have. Currently they have an ATR 72600 in the livery. They have an A321neo. They have the world's first A321neo in a Black Star Alliance livery. I'm pretty sure they did do a what do you call them, a Beach 1900D before they retired those. And they do have an A320, I think they do have an A320 still in their fleet that is wearing the All Black livery. Anyway, that's the liveries out of the way, less confusion. Let's get a cam started and let's get into the flight. So we're flying, so we take off from runway 02, which is the other end, down here, and heading straight out, more or less pretty much northeast departure, and then we will veer a little bit off to the left and head straight up to Auckland, which is pretty much where it would be, pretty much up here somewhere. But let's get in the aircraft and let's get to it, because I want to get this done and out of the way. It's 7 o'clock in the morning where I am, 10 o'clock in the morning here in New Zealand where the aircraft is. So we are all pretty much set up and ready to go. Let's see if our jetway stay connected. It did. That's a miracle. You'd notice this is not a handcrafted bespoke airport. This is a just the one that comes with the sim. I do have the Auckland Airport add-on. I'm just going to double check, did I definitely get IFR clearance? I did, so climb maintain 130. Awesome. Okay, right, I've got to remember how to turn this bitch on. So on APU generators turned on first. They should actually be on by default at all times anyway. We want our beacon light to come on. Logo light, sure, let's turn it on. There's no need for it, but we'll turn it on anyway. Now this is the trick. If you do fly the 787-10 that comes with the premium deluxe version of the simulator, the instructions do say turn on all the fuel pumps, then start the APU. Don't do that. For some reason, there is an error, and you just turn on the aft, just these two, just the left and right aft pumps. And otherwise your APU will not start. It will start and then it will just power back down. I don't know why. As soon as you turn on the remaining 4 pump buttons, the APU drops back down to 0, which is really weird. Anyway, we're going to hit start. Now there's no indicator. I cannot find it anywhere on this display that tells me my APU is fired up. So, and also, if I go back to the overhead, if these are off, you don't get the available or the avail sign lighting up on them like you do in the 7.4. Anyway, but I can hear the APU. There we go. So we definitely do have an APU. We can, I mean, the way to test it is we can turn off ground power and the aircraft will stay lit up. Perfect. Alrighty. I didn't turn my beacon on. Better turn the beacon on. That's pretty much it. That's all you do. It's very, very different to the A320. Cool. So we can... What can we do? We can disconnect the jetway. Oh, no we can't. Seatbelts are still off. Go seatbelts on. Everything else seems to be okay. Alrighty, now we can disconnect the jetway, which will just disappear sort of behind us. It's really weird. In fact, I'll show you on the outside view. It'll actually go down and collide with engine number 1. There it goes. And it will, oh, actually might just skim past it. Oh, just skims past it. No, it's... Oh no, there we go. It actually invades the cowling of engine number 2. Awesome, flight's cancelled. Sorry, engine number 1, I mean, not engine number 2. Flight's cancelled, engine number 1 has been ripped apart by a jetway. Anyway, let's get pushback started. Now, I don't have, for some reason, the add-on ground pack that I have does work in every single country except for New Zealand, which is awesome. We'll get engine number, oh, we'll wait until a pushback has started actually. I might turn the park brake off. Oh, the park brake was off. Cool. I'm just going to check we do have reverses. Yeah, we do. Didn't check that before. So once, did that turn itself back on? No, it didn't. Once pushback commences, any second now. There it goes. We'll get engine number 2 into start position and wait for that to roll up. I forget we have to wait these numbers to roll up too, but so we'll just play it by ear. And we'll be pushing back, tail to the left today. I think they have to be go up to 25 before we actually start the fuel flow. Oh, 20, that'll do. Okay, engine number 2 rolling up. God, I wish this aircraft was louder. The sound is quite disappointing. It is meant to be a huge update coming for this aircraft in the sim next year. I think they said around May. So hopefully they address the sound issues of this. Look at that, there's a sign right there in the taxiway. That's just... Oh, there's multiples. I don't think that's right. I don't think they should be on the actual tarmac. Are we going to turn and... Are we going to hit a building? Did I start that turn way too late? I think I might have. Oh well. We'll wait and see what happens. Engine number 2 is already spooled up. Not that you'd know because it doesn't sound the greatest. Let's get engine number 1 into start. And engine number 1 fired up. Yeah, no, I kind of messed up that pushback. Oh well. That'll have to do. I could slew it into position, but... Let's see, we're just going to give a jet blast to this random building behind us. Anyway, we get the park brake back on. How's the engine rolling up? It's going up good. So put on AI ATC as well, which is the norm for these streams. I want to adjust some of these, the brightness of these displays too. It's a bit better, and we'll get some cabin lighting going. While we're here, we might as well go flap to 5. Should be there, and we will arm the speed brake as well. Cool, engines have rolled up, like I said, not that you'd know. And now you've got to turn APU to off and then get the rest. Don't forget to get the rest of your fuel pumps on, otherwise you're not going to have a very fun flight. Nav lights need to come on. Taxi lights already... Why is this strobe? Okay. That time my park brake was off because the Turtlebeach had a hissy fit. Excellent. I'll just make sure the gears set to down. Was everything else looks fine. We are good to get out of here. If I can get my buttons right. What the... Is it 7? There we go. Far out. My god. We'll just double check we have got our taxi clearance. Here we do. Let's see if we can re-straighten ourselves back up. The other thing I think they hope they fix is this aircraft slows down to a stop whenever you're on a turn unless you put in a lot more power. I don't know if that's true to life, but it doesn't seem to be to me. Aircraft turning, it shouldn't slow down, it should keep pushing forwards, maybe. So just a quick flight today. It's about an hour, 55 minutes to an hour. Air New Zealand definitely does not fly any of their 787s on the scheduled domestic routes. There's just no, there's no call for it. They use A320s and A321s on their domestic routes now, and the A321 is fairly new to domestic to New Zealand. They were running some of the international configured A321s on domestic routes for a while, and then they actually now do have. Did I say domestic? Oh my god! Try that again. Air New Zealand used to. They did run some of the internationally configured A321 Neos on domestic routes for a little bit, just mostly during the pandemic when the country was closed, but they were still doing internal flights. They do have A321s configured for domestic now, and they are, I think that's what the Star Alliance one was. It was delivered last month. And yeah, they're now part of the trunk route. So they use those in place of any wide bodies. The wide bodies they have at the moment are, they have, I think it's 14 787-9s in their fleet, and they mostly do sort of Southeast Asia, Australia, the Pacific Islands. Sometimes, actually, I mean, they have been, again, throughout COVID, been doing the American flights up to the West Coast, and also they have, with less seating, and then they have them doing the Auckland to New York JFK routes, which has not been overly successful for them. They have had weather issues where they've had to stop in Fiji and refuel and things like that. So it's their direct Auckland to JFK route has not been going well for them. But I do wish them the best in the future, all the best in the future for that one, and hopefully they can get it sorted and work out the balance between weight and fuel to make the trip in one go. Grueling flight, 18 or 19 hours or something like that. No, thank you. Could be 17 hours. It's a long flight anyway. It's, yeah, no, thank you. They have signed an agreement with Airbus to purchase 787-10s, which they don't have yet, so this is a fictional flight in a couple of ways, to replace their fleet of 777-300 ERs. So they are downsizing aircraft types, but it makes sense because they have a lower fuel burn per seat. And so we'll say goodbye to the 777 fleet in New Zealand. They did have the 777-200s and 300s, both in the ER variant, I think. And soon they will just have 787s in their international fleet. Anyway, for all that blithering, we're now at runway 02. We'll just hold here. You're going to stop, thank you. And we are clear for takeoff. Awesome, 2983. One thing I always forget, and I do not know why, and it's probably because it's all the way down here, but I forget to put in my QNH, which is 2983. See how accurate that is to meta. It is bang on to meta. Awesome. So landing lights can come on. We will turn auto throttle on. Not that you'd know because it doesn't light up. Auto brake set to RTO. And I'm just going to turn off the taxi light. Strobe light can come on as well, finally. And we will... Oh, the aircraft is already making its way up to the runway, slowly but surely. There is nothing coming in. I'm just going to stay outside while I turn this big bitch. It just doesn't seem to like to turn all that well. I don't want to touch the brakes, I've already got my auto brakes set. It's going to stop. You see us slowing right down? Put a bit more power in. Alrighty, that's more or less lined up. We are a little bit on an angle. Power up to 50%. Stable and toga. Passing 100, release the nose. V1 coming up. V1. And rotate. Positive brake gear can come up. Look at that. Awesome, lose that last flap and we can go into autopilot. No deviation, perfect. Oh, I love that. We can also disarm that spoiler. A few do we want, there we go. Oh, that was quite lovely. This thing's a climber and a half too. We're almost at 5,000 feet already and we are aiming for 13, I think. 2983, that is still correct. Is it 13 what we're aiming for? Yeah, 13,000 feet. Awesome. This thing will get to 40,000 feet like there's no tomorrow. It's amazing how quickly this aircraft can climb out. So chances are we'll spend more time descending than when we will on the cruise because we start the descent 160 nautical miles away from destination. See the backbone of the South Island, the Southern Alps running north to south. Of course, below us we've got the Canterbury Plains. This is why it looks so flat. There's actually an area where Christchurch is called the Canterbury Plains, and it's just this big plain land, hence the name. Oh, above 10,000, so landing lights can come off. And we should go up to 312 nautical knots, I should say. Approaching 13,000. Next vector is 210. Cool. So I am adding my face into these streams, maybe from next weekend onwards. If you look on the webcam where I'm going to point, right there is another webcam, and that'll face me and green screen behind me, and I'll just be superimposed down into this corner here, probably about that big, and it'll just be me and the top of the controllers you'll better see. So that is coming soon. Hopefully my PC can handle it. Should do. Should be right. I figure it's about time that I sort of add some personality to these streams. don't particularly want to be a baseless streamer. Awesome, above 180, so we'll get the QNH to standard. Love the wing flicks, they've modelled that so well. You can see that waving in the wind. Does it do it individually, or are they just mirroring each other? It's hard to tell. I think they might be mirroring each other. Oh well. Still pretty good. And the I can't remember where I got these liveries from. They are in the marketplace, but they've done a really, really good job as always. These the circles around all the pitot tubes and the little hatches. That is accurate. That actually the 787-9 in this paint job actually does look like that. I don't know about the registration number. I can't remember if they have it like that. I forget. That registration number is taken off a 787-9, by the way, too. So yeah, and the engine pods are painted white on the New Zealand All Black 787, not black. Same with the 777, that is all blacks, and the Airbus as well. They're all painted white. Oh, what were we told to go to? Oh, now we've been told to go to climb and maintain 330. Awesome. These displays are still not quite bright enough, are they? Can I make them brighter? Ah, that's it. Move it a bit more. There we go. I forgot to remove the custom interior as well. I don't like this old 747 brown. I meant to remove the add-on for the 787 to make it that nice blue. And I realised that as soon as I spawned in this morning, but well. I didn't set my clock either. Let's do that. 21, 23. Awesome. I like to have the on the Turtlebeach where I'm pointing, there's a little display screen that gives me the well, it says local time, but I set it to UTC and it's wrong. I've got 2024. There we go. And you could also have the your stopwatch as well, but I always forget to set it. Still yet to film the setup video as well, so you can see what I fly with, and if you're thinking about becoming a flight simmer, what your options are with Xbox. Well, not what your options are, what I've opted for, I should say. I might talk about other available hardware for the Xbox, but I don't have it, I just have the Turtlebeach. So that will be coming soon to the channel. Go through it. It won't be a very long video because it's not much. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4 peripherals, but it's probably the most cost-effective way to get into Flight Simulator. We should have our next instruction. Should be up to 400. Oh no, 390. Oh, I did notice in the FMC that it said flight level 398. I wonder if it rounds down to 390. The Airbus would round up to 400. We'll see. Well, sorry, when I say rounding, I mean Microsoft Flight Simulator does that, not the Airbus itself. So we're already at flight level 360, so this thing climbs rapidly. It is such a good climber. Not the best at descent, but you can sort of still see Christchurch off in the distance. Okay, I want to see what happens. Is it going to take us up to 400? It is, yeah, okay, cool. So 400 is our final cruise altitude. And where are we in terms of range? Pretty much coming up to 320, so another 160 miles until we're at top of descent. It's just not a very long flight at all. Perfect for streaming. So seatbelt signs can come off. Just double check everything else. Strober's definitely on, those are all on. Everything is all looking good. Because we have to do that weird fuel pump thing to start the APU, I always double check that I definitely did turn all my other remaining fuel pumps on. The aircraft will fly on just the two aft ones, but then once the left and right aft tanks run dry, you've not got fuel coming from the centre or the forward tanks. So make sure you turn them all on. Double check that is definitely disarmed. Of course, everything is all fine. Excellent, I'm satisfied that we are happily cruising. Now I didn't bring up the weather for Christchurch while I was at the airport, but I will do that for Auckland, so... This was checked. I did test all this. For some reason that's not working. Okay, let's far out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's get the meta screen reconnected to the stream. Did that work? Yes, it did. Excellent. Okay, so this weather was 29 minutes ago. We will have a almost headwind coming into runway 23 left, 10 knot wind. Weather is 18 degrees, few clouds out to 2600, so nothing special. But Auckland does have random wind shear sort of happen. It's not consistent, it can be a bit gusty, so we'll see what happens as we come in. You think a bigger aircraft will be better at handling it, but no, I mean, it's a bigger aircraft, so it catches a lot more wind. There's more machine surface, if you will, to be blown around. And so it doesn't cut through the air like the little A320s can. And could be a bit of a hard landing, but we will see. But as we are at cruise altitude, I am going to do my usual, take a 5-minute break, and I will be right back with you. And I'm back. If you notice the music is a little bit better, I've gone and subscribed to some better music because the YouTube stuff is shit. And so the countdown has a bit of a better music. We'll have some better music during the breaks as well. But that's the only break we will take. Looks like we're coming up to around 255-ish miles away. So at 160 we'll be at top of descent and we'll start making our way down into Auckland. We did just fly over Nelson as well, so you can see Nelson Airport should be right beneath us. Where is it? I think it's, I get my zoom right. Oh, you can't see it. Should be down there somewhere. Oh, that's Nelson Airport, which is the top of the South Island. Definitely cannot land a 787 there. No way. I think you barely land an A320. I'm not sure if they definitely don't go there on scheduled flights with Air New Zealand. I'm not sure if you can actually land one there, but they have the ATR engineering plant there for the Air New Zealand fleet, and they did used to service the Virgin Australia ATR fleet that they briefly had, which they no longer fly. I don't think anyone flies, no, I'm telling lies, Toll Aviation, which is a freight company. They're worldwide, so you might know them. They do have an ATR, I think it's a 500 P2F, so it's a passenger conversion. That's the only ATR that flies around in Australia, I think. There might be another one. There might be a one flown by Heavy Lift. There used to be, I don't know if they still do. But you don't really see them in Australia anymore these days. But they were very prominent in New Zealand. In New Zealand, they have, I think they have 29 ATRs. It's like the third or fourth largest ATR fleet in the world, which is awesome. And the reason why I'm speaking about the ATR so much right now is because hopefully, when the ATR comes to the sim in February, I will get it. Hopefully it's immediately available for Xbox users, and I'll be doing a New Zealand flight with the updated scenery, and it'll be the first turboprop flight. That's not coming up until the very end of February. In fact, I probably should look at my schedule. I've got that jotted in. Where are we? Where's my streaming schedule? There it is. That's not it. Streaming schedule, open up. Yeah, I've got that pegged for the 26th of February, so it is a good couple of months away. And but it would be the first turboprop flight for the stream. Also, I'll bring up the next, so this Thursday's stream as well. These are not live on the channel yet. They're not scheduled in, but I can bring them up. Where are you? We're 2022, December, the next one. So this is the next stream. No, it's not what even, wow, that was a delay. Excellent. Yeah, so the next stream we're going from Christchurch to St Martin, otherwise known as Princess Juliana Airport in the Caribbean. That's the famous airport that you can stand on the beach and get blown away by the jet engines that they take off if they take off facing the mountains. But we'll be landing there probably in the same direction, and that'll be in the Delta A320. So this is the one with the Bredock 3D sound pack applied, so it gives you that more realistic sound in the Airbus. And then the next one after that, we'll be doing a 747 for the first time, doing a Qantas freight run from Brisbane down to Sydney. So that's the next two up-and-coming streams. So keep an eye out for those. Obviously, if you subscribe, you will you can turn on notifications and you'll be notified when the stream goes live. It's for me Thursday night 8:30 p.m. It's Sunday 7 a.m. That's Australian Eastern Standard Time. So 2 streams a week. And also the November landing compilation will be going live onto the channel. Not live. It'll be uploaded onto the channel sometime in the next. I'm going to say sometime in the next 8 hours. I'm not going to put an exact time on it because I haven't edited it down yet, but that will be coming. Alrighty, but in this stream we are below 240 away, so we will begin our descent in another 80 nautical miles and then hopefully a successful landing into Auckland. You can see Mount Taranaki off in the distance. So it's a dormant volcano mountain, similar to Mount Fuji, but nowhere near as high. Actually, can we see it better outside? No, we can't. We can see it better inside. It's almost perfectly round right around the base. It's kind of unique. So that body of water beneath us, that is the Cook Strait. So that goes between, if I spin around, you can see the top of the South Island up here. Now the aircraft down there, you can see them. Oh, there's a few around. That's probably live traffic, that's probably not other gamers. I've got live traffic turned on so I can see everything, makes it a bit more realistic. Probably either an ATR or a Dash 8. Yeah, so anyway, that's the top of the South Island there, and then the bottom of the north. So we have got Wellington will extend down to around here, I think. So it's not much of a gap between the two islands, but it's still about a 3-hour and 15-minute ferry crossing ride. Mostly because they have to slow down when they go through the Queen Charlotte Sound, which is through here, which takes them down to Picton. So you have got a few options getting between the islands. You've got the inter-islander ferry, or you've got the best way between a pair of wings. Of course, you can't take your car on the plane, you can on the ferry. But why go on a boat when you can go on a plane? So already we're about 40 miles away from top descent. We'll start making our way down not long after we cross this the New Plymouth coastline, which is just in front of us up here. But if I bring up the map and zoom out a bit, you can actually see the shape. So if you look on the map here, you can see Wellington's there, Nelson's here, and then the Cook Strait ferry goes around here and then down through all this bit here. So that's 3 hours and 10. It's quite a lot of time for such a short distance. But yeah, the islands are not as far separated as you'd think. That's Mount Taranaki there, which is the Mount Fuji shaped mountain we were just looking at. But once we cross over this coastline here, we will start making our descent down and we'll descend all the way down into Auckland, which is all the way up here. So being in the 787, it's rule of 4, as in if you're 160 miles away, you want to be no higher than 40,000 feet. Etc. 80 miles away, you want to be 20,000 feet. Very, very different to the narrow bodies, which have a rule of 3. And the AI ATC in the game does not take that into account whatsoever. So we have to manually request our descent for these flights. Also, while I remember, the Boeing 3D 737 MAX 8 is currently still in the hangar. I've reached out to them again because I did do another test flight yesterday, and there's a new issue. Not only do the displays shut down while you're on descent, the APU doesn't start up properly. Your engine number 2 shuts down as soon as you start taxiing. You can start it up again, but if you don't notice, it's a bit of a pain when you get your takeoff clearance and you've got one engine running. The new issue is it will not descend below 5,000, either manually or on autopilot. It will, and if you try and push it down, it will just go nose up and stall. So I've reached out to them again and have basically said to them, look, if you don't come back to me, I'm going to have to go and get the aircraft refunded. So if you're on the Xbox and you're looking at getting a 737, you haven't got much. Well, you've got no choice at all now, because I'm telling you live on stream, do not buy the Boeing 3D 737 MAX. I have streamed it a few times and have enjoyed it, but since Sim Update 11 it is broken, and I've not heard from them if they're going to do any fixes for it. It's currently on version 1.7.1, and I have just heard nothing back from them. I've emailed them direct. It's the only way you can contact them. And if they haven't come back to me by the end of this month, I am ditching it and going for a refund. I have no choice. I'm enjoying their other products, their sound packs and things for the A320, and they've got some liveries for the 747. But that aircraft, no, it's a nope, unless they fix it. Then I'm just going to hang out for Sim Update 12, where they get the WASM sorted with Xbox, and maybe I'll be able to get the PMDG 737, probably get the 737-800 would be my choice. Why not go for the most common? And we'll finally get some real 737 flights into the sim. Okay, so we are more or less 160 away-ish. Let's get our descent down to 30,000. So I just do this in tens because we're at 40,000. Why not? It makes sense. So request decrease by 10,000. So it doesn't even argue with me. It just says, yep, go down to 300. Now I've got to do this. I keep forgetting. So I might bring our speed down to 250 knots, and then I'm going to descend us down by 1,500 feet per minute. So you'll see that the slowdown takes ages. It does not like slowing down at all. It'll eventually get to 250, probably before we get to 30,000 feet. But it takes, if you haven't got your speed and your descent rate set up properly in this aircraft, you're not going to have a good time at all. And 1,500 feet per minute is a maximum vertical speed you can sort of punch in without overspeeding the aircraft. Now that mountain there, I'm pretty sure is Ruapehu. Let's have a look on the map. Where are we? Oh no, it's not. No. Oh, it could. No, it's not. That's Ruapehu there. So there's 3 volcanoes just below. This is Mount Taupo. There's 3 volcanoes right in here on the map. Ruapehu erupts quite frequently and sends ash all over the North Island. So ideally we want to be at flight level 300 as we approach or are around 120 nautical miles away. Bit of a weather update for Auckland. So the wind has shifted just a little bit. It's no longer a direct headwind, but that's okay. It's 10 knots. Pretty standard for Auckland. That's actually mild. Temperature has risen to 19 degrees. It is coming into, well, it is summer in New Zealand. So at 19 degrees at almost 11 o'clock in the morning is quite acceptable. Perfect, so 350 and we are tracking nicely. So to get this big bird down, we're pretty much using the middle, the whole centre of the North Island to descend. Actually, should go back outside. It will be nice once they update the scenery. This looks pretty standard. It doesn't really look much like this from the air, to be honest. But when this world update comes with for New Zealand in, is it coming in? No, it's coming in February. Hopefully this looks a lot nicer. This is the Bing Maps effect. And that body of water right there, you can see in the top, well, in the mid-right, this one here, this is the largest lake in New Zealand, called Lake Taupo. That is, believe it or not, a volcano crater lake. It erupted, I don't know how long ago, thousands of years ago, maybe a million, I don't know. And it's not a dormant volcano. It's an extinct volcano. But the lake is absolutely massive, and to think that's a volcano crater is kind of, it's like, whoa, that's huge. But I have swum in that lake myself. The water is freezing cold because of it's so deep. Awesome, so 120 nautical miles away or thereabouts, and descent seems to be working nicely, almost down to flight level 300. No one at home has just said Taupo, same size as Singapore. Yes, it is. The lake is just, it's a huge lake. It's a good point, actually. To think you could fit an entire country in a lake in little New Zealand is just mind-blowing. New Zealand's a lot bigger than people think. They think it's a little tiny country. No, we're just next to Australia, which is a massive big chunk of desert land. Makes us look small, but we're not small at all. I think similar land size to Japan, just with a lot less people. Anyway, we are at flight level 300, so we will descend down to 200. Where are we? There. Excellent. No argument from ATC. They know what we want. So I'll continue doing that at 1,500 feet per minute down. Speed still 250. So no one at home says smaller than Japan, larger than England. Oh yeah, definitely. England is tiny, but with a shitload of people there. By shitload, I mean compared to New Zealand. I should point out, so I think that's Mount Ruapehu there. There's another mountain in there called Ngātahoe and also Tongariro. I have climbed up Mount Tongariro just as a bit of a skite point. There's hot springs at the top of it, and it's definitely worth a climb. If you're ever in New Zealand and you want to do some of these walks, I recommend Mount Tongariro. It gives you an amazing view once you get up there. It is tough on the walk down, but yeah, definitely worth it. The descent down to 20,000 hasn't quite worked out as I expected, but that's okay. We will make up the altitude as we go. So I would have liked to have been about flight level 220 at this point. We're at 240, but it's fine. We will still land. We do have a massive big left turn to line up on approach in Auckland, and we can definitely make up some altitude there. We're going to get a little bit thrown around as we just come over the central North Island. So I am going to put the seatbelt sign on now. Going to request down to 12,000 now. Oops, so I press the right buttons. Did say down to 200 and then expect 12,000, but we're going to just do it anyway. Descent rate keeps changing. It keeps going up to 1400, down to 1500. It's annoying. I'm going to change the QNH now. It should be 3003 for Auckland. Just going to check if ATC has started giving us, oh yeah, just and maintain 13,000. So ATC's finally picked us up and is finally giving us the correct instructions for the heavy.
Just waiting to see if it will give us further descent instructions at 13,000 or if it's just going to leave us hanging. New Zealand 5017, that'll be an ATR. No updated QNH yet. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Down to 12. Actually, no, I'm just going to go down to 8,000 and ignore ATC until we're on final. So I'm going to start getting the speed down as well. Let's go down to 220 because it takes ages to slow this bitch down. Close to 10,000. We're going to get the landing lights on. Might as well arm the spoiler while I'm here as well. Get that done and out of the way. Oh, try to figure out why we're not slowing down. I need to lift us up 1,200 feet per minute descent. She does not want to slow down today at all. There we go, now we're rolling back. XX, I'm a beast, XX7. Sweet. Looks like someone's spawned in. That could be Auckland. Oops. Yeah, I knew it was going to tell me to expedite. Well, no, we're just making it up on our own. Down to 3,000 at 1,000 feet per minute for now. I just want to get our speed down as much as I can. And we'll go flaps to 1. See, this is the thing, if you're flying the wide bodies in the simulator and you're using the AI ATC, it's broken. It's wanting me to climb to 12,000 feet and we are, what, 30 nautical miles away? I don't think so. So we can just shut that off. It'll pick us up again when we're on final and let us land. But otherwise it's frickin' useless. Excellent, ILS has picked us up. It's always good to see the diamonds. And I say that because I had to manually enter the ILS frequencies because they didn't automatically populate. Just kind of a pain. Reduce our descent to 800 feet because we are just coming in a little bit too low too soon. Plus our speed is sort of stalled on 230 knots, so we'll get that down a bit more. Excellent. So the wind has, the weather has updated again. We now do, looks like we have a head-on wind coming in on 2-3 left, which is excellent to see because it just makes landing a shit ton easier. But as you're about to see, not the greatest at landing the wide bodies, but we'll see how we go. I've flown this once before on stream, seemed to do all right. Of course, Auckland Airport is, it's another story. The wind there can be not fun. Okay, speed down to 200. We'll get some more flaps out as we go. Flaps to 5 now, actually. So the airport should have runway in sight. We do right there. It's just about to disappear. No. Yep, there it is. Gone. Oh no, back. So that's the runway there. So if you were wondering why Auckland has 05 right / 23 left and only one runway, why do they have the left and right differentiators? It's because there is a second runway planned, but it's just been in the planning for just a really, really long time. Not sure if and when they actually will build it. They have to reclaim land to do it. It might happen. Okay, going to punch in 185 and hope we can get some speed down. We're still well above 200. ILS is already starting to line up, so I'm actually going to get that down to 160. And we're going to go flaps at 10. Hopefully we don't overspeed. And we can lock in the horizontal. Ah, there we go. Now we're coming down.
2,500. 2,500.
Yes, heard you the first time. Okay, I can activate approach. Go around altitude, so I'll be set to 6500. Oh, sorry, 65. Alrighty, gear can come down. And we're just going to try and beat that that A320 that's coming in from Queenstown behind us. We should be fine. We'll set final land speed, which is 145 knots. Auto brake can be set to 2. Speed brake's already armed. Just going to double check we have got everything all fine. So landing lights are all on. I'm going to turn the taxi light on now because I always forget. Actually, no, we don't need it. It's broad daylight. Speed brakes are armed. Flaps are at 20. We are still going way too fast. I'm just going to put some manual speed brake out. Get that speed right down. And we're going to go flaps to full. Come on. And I do need to rearm the speed brake as well. Usually you take manual control at this point, but not in Auckland. You can see we're being thrown around like a cork in the ocean. It is only a 10 knot headwind as we come in, but it's just so unpredictable here. Wait until we're down to about 500, then I'll turn the automatic pilot off. Or do it now because we're too high. Doesn't that work? Ah. There we go.
500. 400.
Whoa. Get back on target, you bitch. Come on.
200. Minimums.
Continue. We're going to be, this is going to be a
100.
Oh. Come on, get over. Thank you.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
There we go. Did flare it just a little bit, so we're a little bit high on the nose. And my rudder stopped working for a sec. Awesome. Bit of a rough touchdown, but that's okay. Welcome to Auckland. Just going to take this exit here. I'm going to go the long way around because I hate turning this thing, and plus I'm doing 27 knots, which is kind of quick on the ground for this bird. While we're doing that, we'll get some systems turned off and we'll get an APU fired up. Probably should tune the ground and get a gate. Gate 16. I don't know where that is, but we will find out in a sec. Actually, where is it taking us? All the way around. Okay. Oh yeah, because another Air New Zealand right there going to remote stands. Oh shit, wrong button. Oh, for God's sake. So this is the add-on Auckland airport, not the one that comes with the sim. So once we get to the gate, you'll be able to see the differences between the add-on and the standard. The standard, of course, being that usual awful concrete block style thing. Anyway, strobe can come off. Nav lights we don't need. Now to get the APU started in the 787 in the game that comes with it, I'll just straighten this up here a bit. You do need to turn off the forward and centre pumps, otherwise your APU will not start up. It will roll up and then roll down again. So it's just the same as when we started the APU, you just need the two aft fuel pumps on. Okay, I don't know where we're going. We are turning left here. Okay, cool. Probably could have read that sign that we just passed. Sweet, I can hear the APU firing up. Where the heck is gate 16? Oh, it's there. They've got some 777-300 ERs as static aircraft, which is kind of cool. Dotted all over the airport. And if you go to the domestic, which is, so this is international, go to the domestic, which is over here, there are some ATRs there as well. The reason why we're going to international is because you can't park a 787 at, oh my God, we're going all the way over that side. You can't park a 787 at the domestic, it will not fit. Holy shit. Why am I taxing it? Oh, we just go downhill. Just park next to this. I think it might be a 777-200 next to us. Oh, I wish the double gates would work. Oh my god. Let's not come in at that speed. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore the marshal and just park. See if I can get the right. No, I'm not going to be able to see it. About there, that'll do. Engine 2 and 1 coming off. And we will request our jetway connection. God, I wish both would connect. That would be awesome. Actually, no, you don't. I don't think you have dual bridge access on the 7.8. Maybe, I don't know. External power can come on. Get all the fuel pumps off, which is actually going to kill our... Did I just turn that on? No. Oh, weird. And we'll kill the APU. No longer needed. Beacon, logo. Just connect the... Check the jetway is definitely connected. And seatbelts can come off as well. Awesome. So welcome to Auckland International. We made it. Bit of a hard landing, but it sounds harder than it is in this aircraft in the sim. Trust me on that one. But I'm not swearing my head off, which means it was an acceptable landing. But thank you very much for watching. If you did watch along in the live, or if you're watching this on replay, don't forget to check out the schedule for future streams. We have got plenty more to come, streaming twice a week. And the route is posted in the chat at the start of each video, usually just before the 15-minute timer starts. So if you are a flight sim enthusiast and you want to spawn in and fly alongside, behind or in front, you're more than welcome to do so. I am on the East USA server, so that's where you will find me at anywhere when I do stream. When the streams happen, they are live time, live traffic, live weather as well, so I don't change that. I fly, just whatever happens regards to weather. Anyway, that's me, and I will catch you in the next stream, which is Curacao to St. Martin, or Princess Juliana. Juliana. Which should be quite a nice approach. That's an early morning flight coming up this Thursday night my time, 10:30 Universal Time, or 6:30, I forget AST. Anyway, it's going to be an early morning flight from Curacao up to St. Martin. So until then, we will catch you next time.